Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to speak today. I'm Laura Liddaman. I'm the Thames Water Surface Water Management Programme Manager. A bit of a mouthful. You may have seen me with another hat on. I do work for Atkins Realis as well as their MBS Service Line Director, but I'm here today with my Thames hat on. Today I want to take you on a bit of a journey through what it really takes to deliver SUDS at scale, not just in theory, but in real, sometimes messy, collaborative, inspiring reality of working across one of the most complex urban regions in the UK. What I'll share with you isn't just a programme update, it's a story, I hope, of ambition, partnership, unlocking land and opportunity, and what becomes possible when we stop working in silos and start finding common ground. So I want to begin with something visual. So I've used, or tried to use, my creative side by using AI to generate these two visions. On the right, we have a world where nature is woven into our cities, places designed for people, with green roofs, rain gardens, shade, and a sense of peace and calm. And on the left, a world where we didn't act, more homes, more hard surfaces, and more rainfall, creating a sense of powerless where people feel when their streets are flooded and their possessions are lost or damaged. But we also know that there is a huge opportunity to build beautiful, healthy, resilient places for people, and SUDS give us the way to do that at scale. So one of the first truths about SUDS is that it's never just about drainage. To deliver SUDS, you have to work across design teams, highways, procurement, utilities, planning, communication teams, maintenance, funding, and about 20 other moving parts. It means dealing with constraints, balancing priorities, and helping people visualise a different future for the same piece of land. And that's what partnership, and I mean real partnership, is central to everything that we do in the Surface Water Management Programme. So zooming out, this is the scale of Thames Water's ambition. We plan to manage runoff from 7,500 hectares of land through SUDS. This protects around 187,000 properties and helps drive storm overflows down to fewer than 10 spills per year across the region. But we're not stopping there. By AMP10, we need a 10-fold increase, and by AMP12, a third-fold. If you look at the London Borough of Lambeth, their vision is SUDS on all roads, an unprecedented, extraordinary undertaking. This is not a future of tanks and tunnels alone. Traditional grey infrastructure cannot meet the scale of need we now face. The answer is distributed, partnership-led, nature-based infrastructure delivered at a pace and a scale that we've never attempted before. The SWMP alone represents over £30 billion worth of investment over 25 years. The industry has the skills, but it's our collaboration model that will determine whether we meet the moment. So now let's bring it back to where we are today, the heart of the programme. Thames Water is the largest water company in the UK, serving around 15 million customers, about a quarter of the national population. We knew from the outset that scaling SUDS would require a very different approach, one that aligns with planning, taps into local authority priorities, and fundamentally recognises that Thames Water don't own much land, but our partners do. So our role is to give our partners the confidence, funding, and support they need to deliver solutions that meet both our objectives and theirs. So this slide shows a simple example from Hackney before and after the rain garden installation. What looks like a small change here actually represents a huge shift in mindset. Our vision in AMP7 was to disconnect or attenuate runoff from the network using SUDS. The expectation at the start was modest, around 20 hectares of catchment area. But the real challenge wasn't technical capacity, it was unlocking land. Thames Water doesn't own the parks, they don't own the pavements, the schools, the housing estates. So we flipped the model. Instead of building tanks to solve individual problems, we invested in partnerships, offering funding to councils, charities and communities so they could deliver SuDS on their land. This isn't about capacity, it's about public value. It's about recognising that SuDS aren't just hydraulic assets, they are community assets. So our approach is built on 3 pillars. First, strategic alignment. We treat the Surface Water Management Programme as the delivery arm of our DWMP. We work closely with the Greater London Authority, the Thames Regional Flood and Coastal Committee, our boroughs and others to ensure that what we deliver fits into the urban fabric of London and the Thames Valley. Second, we have a small, dedicated team. We learned from AMP6 that people need a single point of contact. In AMP7, we operated with just a team of 4 part-time team members. Today, we're now a team of 7. Still lean, but still collaborative, offering consistency, clarity, and a human face to our programme. Third, a clear visibility of funding allows councils and partners to plan ahead. Strategic partnerships, especially with resource-stretched boroughs, have been transformative. And our off-water innovation work has helped unlock new ideas and new capabilities across the region. So what did we actually deliver during our AMP7 programme? We worked across the whole of the Thames Water area, not trying to solve everything everywhere, but focusing where the partnerships, drivers and opportunities aligned. And while London's SuDS strategy, streetworks and market transformation work sit alongside what we do, this programme is a very practical example of what scalable SuDS delivery can look like. So the result speaks for themselves. We delivered in AMP7 74 SuDS projects. Over 30 partners were involved. Thank you, partners, if you're here in the room. And over £30 million worth of jointly invested funding. We created 18,000 cubic metres of storage and created 90 hectares of catchment area. We didn't know starting out whether partnership-led delivery would work at scale. Now we know it does. More importantly, Thames Water executive leadership knows it does. We've won multiple SuDS Drains Awards, 4 wins and 3 commendations, and even one of our partners was nominated for the 2025 SuDS Champion Award, who I believe also won. But for me, what's most important is the relationships that we are forming. We've built long-lasting collaborations built on trust, shared ambition, and a genuine sense of collective ownership. So here are some of the photos that show the diversity of what the SuDS look like on the ground, from housing estates to community gardens to streetscapes. Our partnerships with ARC, Groundwork, Lambeth, Southwark, and many others have enabled schemes that simply wouldn't have been possible through a company water-only approach. Through 2 open calls for project and 3 strategic partnerships, as I've said, we delivered 74 projects. ARC in particular did an incredible job mobilising residents and volunteers, demonstrating that SuDS don't just manage water, they create agency, pride and local ownership. SuDS in schools, we've heard a lot about today, are some of the most rewarding, impactful projects we deliver. They bring education, climate awareness, biodiversity, outdoor learning and community pride together in one place. You can see examples here from John Stainer, Rathfin, John Burns and the Green School for Girls. These spaces were previously tarmac or neglected corners. They are now full of colour, pollinators and resilience. And they're teaching the next generation that water and nature can coexist beautifully in urban environments. One of the biggest opportunities in London is the highway network. Long, linear, publicly owned and often the cause of significant runoff. Through partnerships with boroughs, we've delivered rain gardens Hackney, Tolworth, Muswell Hill, Green Lanes, Brook Drive, Brook Road and many more. Some of these are small, a single build-out or a verge. Some are large, whole corridors of green infrastructure, but collectively they represent one of the biggest opportunities to transform surface water management at scale. Beyond our streets and schools, SuDS also mean working at the landscape scale. Flood storage areas in parks and woodlands like Thatcham, Chestnut Fields, Bellevue Park and Muswell Hill help manage huge volumes of runoff while enhancing the natural environment. Many were co-funded with the Environment Agency and they demonstrate that SuDS can be multifunctional. Flood mitigation, biodiversity, habitat creation and community benefit all in one. What could be better? But SuDS don't all need to be big. We had one very happy customer here. Small interventions can make a huge difference when deployed at scale. Water butts in Hertfordshire and lower flood street planters in Waltham Forest. These interventions reduced runoff, engaged residents and built awareness in a very tangible and personal way. This is a critical part for our future strategy, especially as we work towards property level solutions in AMP8. I have to mention this project, one of my absolute favourites. The St John's Society came to us asking for £5,000 to green a piece of tarmac. We connected them with Lewisham Council, who immediately backed it. This small but passionate community group transformed the space. It's beautiful, functional and completely driven by local energy. It's a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful SuDS projects start with a small email from a resident who cares. We asked our partners for honest feedback, what worked and what we needed to do better, clear communication and consistent points of contact we did well with, simple, flexible funding, straightforward benefit metric, unlocking co-funding opportunities and providing proof that SuDS could be jointly delivered. Where we needed to improve, we needed clearer design guidance, especially return periods, faster funding agreements, better alignment with our developer services, and more delivery support, comms, scopes and designs. A shared online delivery dashboard as well. We've already taken action, a larger team for a start, better defined standards and a commissioned report to share lessons learned, including cost data. Transparency helps the whole industry. So what's next? AMP7 proved to be the model that works. AMP8 is where we scale it. We're expanding delivery and funding streams, strengthening our evidence base. We're going from 2 calls of projects up to 6, particularly around storm overflows, growth and flooding, and doubling down on relationships with boroughs and partners. We're also preparing for broader legislative and policy changes, including the London Surface Water Strategy, Schedule 3, and growing political momentum behind SuDS. And most importantly, AMP8 has given us more work streams of third-party delivery, property-level solutions, more schools, more SuDS in street works. Our approach remains the same. Partners bring ideas, we support and enable delivery. It's not about owning every piece of the solution, it's about building the system that can deliver it. So again, imagination is where we're needed. This is one of our most imaginative projects we've supported. Joe Strummer Subway repurposing. In partnership with TfL and the GLA, we repurposed a disused subway where Joe Strummer once bussed before joining the Clash, apparently. This has turned this subway into a SuDS asset, now providing over 100 metres cubed of storage. It was going to be filled in, now it's the largest SuDS retrofit in central London. It's a great example of using what's already there, thinking creatively about the urban environment and finding opportunities hidden in plain sight. So to summarise, the challenge is huge, but so is the ambition. AMP7 showed us what's possible, where we take a partnership-first approach. We delivered 74 projects, created 90 hectares of catchment area, and built a trusted network of collaborators. We're now building on this momentum as we move towards 2050, with the scale of delivery needed to match the climate and urban challenges we face. And AMP8 puts in place the work streams, the partnerships and the vision needed to accelerate delivery across London and the Thames Valley. Ultimately, this isn't about SuDS, it's about creating healthier, fairer, more resilient places for people at scale. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this has given you a sense of what we've achieved, what we've learned and where we're headed next. I'm always happy to talk more, share lessons and connect with anyone who wants to collaborate, because none of this happens without you amazing partners. So thank you.